Hello, welcome back. Episode 2 of the 2wancast. I got a special guest with me, one of my good friends. We used to be co-workers at the mall. He goes by Justin. I know him as Barrett. What's up, my bro? Thank you for coming.
I'm doing alright.
You doing well?
Yeah, from the way back when.
From the way back when? Since
Yeah, it's been some years.
at least like
2019.
2019, yeah?
Yeah,
We were working at Journeys at the time.
that was a long time.
Yeah, man. Certainly. Since that time, we've been up to a lot, you know. We made the
Yeah.
Swans. We've been getting active, trying to build our community. One of the reasons why I wanted to bring you today is to ask you about that, you know. I know you personally for a lot of skills, you know. Amazing cook. You dance. You make your own video content. But I really want to talk to you about the dancing. Because that's something that I can't do myself. I've tried. Like, it's embarrassing. I've been trying to copy some of your moves, but like I'm awful at it.
I mean, where do you want me to start with that? As far as like where or
Well,
when?
Yeah, when did it all start? Like how early were you when you really started doing it?
I mean, I've been dancing from young. I think since before I could even like walk. Technically, that's just how I feel about it. But it really started from a young age because my mom danced, my grandmother danced, and I had relatives that danced. So it just was relatively close to me.
Yeah, it was like
So,
always in the household.
yeah, sort of like how music was. So everything just rotated on a different schedule. But necessarily it started from a young age, and then me and my sister used to do it. We used to make up dances. We used to copy dances off for TV and be outside on the stoop and, doing a little 8 count just to figure out like where we stood as far as like who was the better dancer. So we used to have little mini competitions. My mom used to compete with us. She used to like build the battles between us, especially when it came to, you ever had the Michael Jackson experience on the Wii?
Yeah.
So my mom, funny
Such a good
story,
game.
my mom, she had 5 stars on like maybe 3 of the songs, but there was on Thriller, she had 5 stars, so nobody could beat her. Like, and I was just like, one day I'm gonna knock you out the water. Like, I'm gonna really take your spot. And it was just like we was just fighting so hard to get it, and we just never got it. As close as we got, we just never topped it. So
Nobody ever beat your mom's score?
nobody ever beat my mom's score because she just had it so down pat, like to smooth, like.
That's her one.
You know what I'm saying? She had all of it, but she taught us all the routines, like.
Yeah.
But
you know the routine for remember the time.
She's the one who taught me. She's
That's
the one
probably
who
my
taught
favorite
me.
one.
Like, I remember when we were leaving Pennsylvania after the retreat, and we were at the gas station. We were at the gas station, and the song was on. I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get out," and I just did it right there.
Oh yeah, you did. You totally
it
did.
It was crazy.
I think that was remember the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you were like,
I did the whole breakdown in the parking, like in the gas station parking lot, and I was just like, yeah.
You were like, I know this part.
Yeah, my mom. Word to my mom.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to the mom. Shout out to my mom. She got me this bucket hat.
It's nice.
Yeah, am I making it work? I'm
nice.
I'm trying to be like you.
The works,
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm trying. Thanks, mom. Thanks for dressing me.
Right,
as always.
right, definitely so. But yeah, dancing just has always been something that was like secondhand to me. So movement, just period, like movement has always been secondhand.
So like, for me, growing up, whenever I heard music, the feeling I would get is I want to create it. Like I would hear instruments and I wanted to like understand the sounds. I wanted to understand like the science and the nuance behind making the music. But when you heard the music, instead of thinking about making the music, it inspired you to dance. What is that like? Like what is it that makes you decide you want to dance when you hear a song?
I don't think it's something that I decide to do.
It just kind of comes out?
It's just sort of like a second nature to me. So if I hear something that makes me want to move, then naturally I'm going to just, start moving my body. However, it's like if there's something that I've been given a task to perform to, then that's also a task for me. Like, okay, I have to figure out which movements work best for me. But the inspiration just comes behind like you being able to do so many different things with your body. Like your body is an instrument. So when it comes to movement of all kind, literally there's no wrong way. There's technique, and then there's freehand, but there's no wrong way. Like movement is movement. So even if you have two left feet and you could bust you a two-step,
Yeah.
do your thing, do your thing.
See,
But
that's what I be trying to do. But like, you look way better at it. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be some skill involved.
but you can't. So okay, I'll go back on that. So something that I just feel like a lot of people don't try to like speak on is you can't teach rhythm. Like that's something you can't teach. Like if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
I'm grateful I'm black.
Movement is teachable. I can teach you movements. However, I cannot teach you to get on the rhythm or to know the rhythm or to know rhythm at all. I can't teach you that. But like, you know, that's when it comes to movement. But as far as like when I hear music, I just gotta bust a move. That's it.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Is it like a freeing experience for you?
That it could be a freeing experience. However, it's more so an outlet. So the same way music makes you feel like you're releasing whatever it is, like your emotions, or you want to get something, a point across, or whatever the gist of it may be, I feel like movement in itself is the same thing. It's like if you watch someone on a stage and you can kind of tell what the story is after they perform, then you kind of got the message. But it's like if you listen to someone's song and you listen to the lyrics and the music and the melody, it's like you kind of got their message at the same way. So it's kind of, they coincide.
Yeah, music and dancing has always had like a beautiful relationship to me. Especially like, I think that's as much fun as I have making music. Like I found a lot of fun in performing the music. And it's a lot of it is because of that, like when you're up on stage, like here's this thing that like you made by yourself. It was a very intimate and personal experience. Like you make it in the basement by yourself, it's just you. And then all of a sudden, like now it's a shared experience and you do it in front of people and they know the words and they start singing along. But then people begin to dance and like, it's crazy because music is just patterns.
And music is therapy as well.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic for people. As far as like, even if you're in an emotional state, or in my case, like I work with children who have disabilities and they have music therapy. So what it does is it sparks something in the neurons in their brain to where like they have reactions to it. And just like, you know, with us, like we hear a song that makes us feel good. Like they hear music, they hear sounds that make them feel good, and then you have sounds that may trigger certain things for them. However, the ultimate goal in that is for them to, you know, get it to stem something.
Yeah.
So like I want to have a reaction that I want to see what it does for you and how it can be therapeutic for you. So I just feel like music overall is something that can be, you know, used as a tool for the monetary, or it can be used for tools as in a what's the word?
Almost like for self-expression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like everything is overall, like movement, poetry, music, just
Clothes. Like you found that way in clothes, you know? That's
fashion.
certainly a way to express yourself.
Fashion is definitely a way to express yourself. I mean, you express yourself. I express myself.
What do you think I'm expressing today?
I feel like you're definitely on your cozy vibe. Like it's very cozy, you know what I mean?
feel
The bucket
very
hat
good.
is really like shaded. You have like the dress down shirt with the graphics on it. And then you have the sweatpants, which gives like a cozier feel. The Vans, you know, the era.
Yeah.
Vans.
Thank
So
you, man.
it's more so on a cozy vibe. Like I feel like I'm
Cozy.
giving more so like I can go out, but I could also chill if need be.
You're like closey but like jazzed up. A little bit, a step above where I'm at.
Okay, I'll take that.
You'll take it.
I'll take that. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like fashion is a very expressionable field,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. Fast fashion has become crazy nowadays.
Was fashion another thing you were always into growing up?
Fashion has always been a thing in my family as well, especially from when I was young. My mom could even tell you this, because when I spoke to her recently, she was telling me, you used to always like pick out certain colors. You used to always were drawn to certain patterns and certain graphics. So I would just let you pick out whatever you wanted to wear for the day. Like she would, as a child, like a small child, she would just hang me over whatever outfit. She would put up all the, lay them all out, and then she would have me pick whatever I wanted to, put on.
Yeah. I want to get back to the music for a sec. Clearly, there was a lot of music in the house because you guys were dancing a lot. But what were you guys listening to? Like, who did you grow up
As
on?
far as like artists,
Yeah.
depending on what household I was in.
Okay.
So, in my grandmother's household, it was a lot of soul and R&B. So, a lot of Whitney, a lot of like Aretha Franklin, a lot of Shaka Khan. We had the Jacksons, so Michael. We had a lot of like the R&B soul artists. And then at my grandfather's house, we would have like just jazz. So it's like strictly like instrumentals. We might have had a few Billie Holiday records that we would play on. But he just like strictly jazz instrumentals. So we've always listened to that. But more so in my household, it was a lot of R&B, it was a lot of rap and hip hop. So I grew up listening to a lot of artists like 50 Cent, Lil Kim, Beyonce, A. Marie, Kelly Rowland, who else I was listening to? John B, Donnell Jones, Left Eye, TLC, SWV, Music Soul Child. The list goes on. Maxwell,
Maxwell's a
Joe,
favorite of mine.
Kim. Who else I was listening to? Well, a lot of everyone. Brandy. So it's a lot of definitely hip hop and R&B in my household.
Yeah.
Like in my center household. But as far as like my grandparents and stuff like that, like we listen to a lot of like R&B soul, and like oldies but goodies.
Do you feel like that's had a lot of influence on what you listen to now?
Definitely. So like I solely like I love R&B, but like I have a taste for everything. So if it sounds good to me, and I'll vibe with it.
Yeah.
But like more so like I'm prone to R&B. Like I love it. It feeds my soul. I have to listen to a little of something of that every day. Just a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing like it, man.
But I'm into a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So, did you have inspirations as a dancer growing up? Were there people that you looked up to or that inspired you? Or was it mainly just your own experience?
Solely, it was a lot of my own experiences. Like I didn't have a lot of role models growing up in the dance world. I did, I did see a couple of visuals. Like Paula Abdul was one of them. She would do a lot of like outlandish visuals. You had Madonna, who had a lot of visuals that blew you away. But as far as like dance role models, no, I didn't really have a lot of those. Like I just built on who I was as a dancer. So whatever experiences that I took, I had.
Yeah. And by the time you were in high school, you were like performing and stuff.
Yeah, so by the time I got to high school, so I started performing in elementary school.
Oh, wow.
So I was performing in kindergarten. I performed in kindergarten in the Wiz play. I was one of the Munchkins, and I had to hula hoop around the stage. And then third grade, I performed and I was doing ballroom dancing. And we did like a couple different styles, the merengue, the tango, the foxtrot. It was two more that I can't think of at the moment. But then once I got to like the sixth grade, that's when I started doing performances, like dance performances on the stage. with like the schools. So we did like a Michael Jackson tribute, and I performed to "The Way You Make Me Feel."
Great song.
And I was originally, so I was just talking to my friends about this, and originally, so me and my best friend at the time, her name was Aaliyah, and shout out to you, girl.
Shout out to
We
Aaliyah.
was really close at the time, so we all were in dance class, so we all was in the same class, and we had to like audition for like who was going to be Michael. So she had this little boo at the time, or whatever the case may be, and you know he could dance, but he wasn't really like a technical dancer,
It
but he knew
wasn't
how to moonwalk.
okay.
And I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
So
and that's like the main
and
thing
I was
you
so
need.
mad. I was so mad because he got the role because he knew how to moonwalk, but I had everything else. I was so mad, but
You had all the
I
steps.
was glad
Moonwalk.
that somebody was able to do it, because
Yeah.
if it wasn't completed, then it would have just looked, a little shabby.
Did you ever figure out the moonwalk?
No.
It's hard, right?
It is. It's really tactical. Like, you really have to know how to do it. Like, you really got to be a smooth walker with that.
It's kind of like you're kind of like pushing off your feet,
But
in a way,
backwards.
right? But backwards.
Like, it's a shift.
Yeah, and his legs are in a way where like it looks
It's
like
like
he's gliding.
you're
Yeah.
shifting back. It's real technical, and maybe one day. Maybe one
Yeah.
day. But I was so upset about that, but we did what we needed to do.
Yeah, and then later on you got to perform at the Apollo, right?
So, yeah, that was I had stopped dancing after the 6th grade, like solely because I was dealing with a lot of family stuff. But when I got back to high school, after the 9th grade, there was this program that came to my school or whatever, and they were like, "Yo, we're looking for dancers." They were going around in the lunchroom, and this lady. At first, I was just looking at this lady walk around. I was like, well, "Who is this lady walking around the cafeteria?" Like, she had these little glasses on. She had her hair in a bun. She looks like this, like she looks like somebody's mom. So I'm like, "Who is this lady walking around?" She's like, "We're having dance, and I want you to sign up and stuff like that." So I didn't sign up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't feeling it. Like, I was still discouraged because I stopped dancing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So my friends at the time, they convinced me like to come to practice. So I'm like, "All right, I'm coming to practice." So I came one day, and they got me on stage, and I just started doing a freestyle, and they was like, "You gotta come back, like you gotta come back." So long story short, the lady who was scouting everybody, she was the instructor. Her name is Vesta Walker. She godsend. I love her. Like, she's like my other mom. Like, that's like my dance mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know Abby Lee Miller and all of them. She my mama over her, she got that.
Yeah.
She got that. Okay.
She's the real deal.
So let me tell you this. So funny thing is how small the world is. So after the first rehearsal, she's like, "I love you. I love your spirit. You need to come back." Da da da. So I go home and tell my mom. I'm like, "Yeah, ma, I joined the dance team." She's like, "Word." Da da da.
Yeah,
So
you're feeling
I'm
good.
telling her like, I'm like, "Yeah, this lady, her name is Vesta," and she's like, "That name sounds so familiar." So she's like, "Show me her." So I show her. I look her up on Facebook and stuff like that. So I show her. She's like, "I know her. Me and her used to dance back in the day.
Oh,
Her
get
mom
out.
used to teach us." And I was like, "You lying." So the next week, I brought my mom to practice, and they just had a whole little, reunion and everything like that. Then next thing you know, my mom over here trying to micromanage me at practice. I'm like, "No, you gotta get out. You gotta go. Like, I'm happy."
She was getting too involved.
Yeah, like, you getting too happy. You talking about you missing your steps. I'm like, "You're talking too much. You're doing too much." So
It's like, yeah, my dad is a coach, so like when I was on sports teams, like he would come to the games and be like coaching from the side.
yeah, like you can't do that. Be
Yeah.
the parent.
Yeah,
cheer me on.
You're supposed to be supporting cast.
No matter what I'm doing. If I'm failing, you're supposed to be like, "You're doing a good job."
Yeah.
So, but I would be in the front anyway. So regardless, she would just be like, "Okay, you got it, but you got to do it like that the next time." And I'm just like, "All right, whatever." But it was just so small how the world worked. So
Yeah. small
fast
world.
forward a couple years later, we done performed, did so many different shows, and it's my senior year. So I had transfer schools inside like different academies. So I was going to a different program. So I wasn't on the schedule that they had, like the dance schedule, because our school times are different. So I would have to like, I got out at a certain time, so I would have to rush to practice and like change and stuff like that. So the year before, we performed at this place in Harlem. I can't remember the name of the theater. When I find out the name, I'll give it to you.
He said Apollo,
No,
not the Apollo.
no.
That's what you did
The
next.
year before, we had performed at this place. It's like a theater that holds like 3,000 people, and we performed this piece that we were supposed to do at a wedding. And they took pictures of us when we were performing, so they had like still shots. So when the Apollo opportunity came up, I was sitting in the dance studio with my my dance mom, and she's like, "So I have something to show you, but I don't know if you're ready yet." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I have something to show you, but I don't know if you're ready yet."
Yeah.
And it was just me and her. It was nobody else in there. And I'm like, "All right, just show me. I'm ready." So she's like, she opens the flyer up. So for the show for the Apollo, I'm the still shot in the background.
Oh, that's so cool.
From the show before.
Yeah.
And it's just me. Mind you, it's a whole circle of us that we were performing, and it's just the shot of me because I'm the only guy in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And it's plastered all over New York City.
Oh, that's so cool. That must have
And
been a great opportunity for you.
I was like,
yeah.
no freaking way.
Especially coming from a point where you'd given up dancing.
Yeah. I literally kind of like had a moment, like.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, so what we doing? Like,
Yeah.
what we doing? Like, the Apollo, what we doing? I went home and told my mother, and she was like,
yeah, that's respect. And you guys did it. Tore that stage up.
I was like, I'm going to touch the stump.
Yeah, did you get to?
Yeah, we touched it before we went to the stage. So realistically, the stage is so small. Like, when you actually go, the stage is so much smaller than you really expect it to be. So we had to do like a whole like, stage rehearsal, and we had to like, get the layout of the space and the rooms downstairs, the dressing rooms. We had our own dressing room and everything like that. So it was really, really a good experience. We had a whole bunch of other acts. It was for the Urban Arts Partnership. So what they do is each year, whatever schools that they're in, like whatever instructors that they have inside the schools, they bring together their students at the end of the year and put on like a showcase.
And that's what this was.
This was their end of the year showcase. But we had performed for the showcase the prior year, but for a smaller venue. So they wanted us to come back for this venue, and we was like, yeah, like
of course.
it's the Apollo.
It's the Apollo.
Like who doesn't want to step
That's an
onto the
amazing
stage?
opportunity, man.
So it was definitely so much fun. Like I have so many different pictures and videos. My mom has the video on YouTube, but she has to unhide it because she's a moderator on there for a few different YouTubers, and she had to block it because she didn't want them to like flag the video.
Oh.
So I have to get the video for her.
So people can see it.
The video
we'll
up
put it on YouTube
so I can like plug it in with you guys.
Yeah.
But that video went so good, and we did spoken word piece in between in parts of it. So
yeah,
it was really, really dope, and it was a great experience. That was very much so the way to go out on your senior year with a bang. Like,
do you feel like, given at one point you stopped dancing, and then you get this opportunity where you get to perform with the Apollo, what did that do for your confidence afterwards?
I mean, the confidence was there not for me solely as a person, but like for my craft, it definitely gave me the boost in two ways. Because of the visual that it gave me for like the showcase, like me being plastered all over New York City, like that was nice. And then actually being able to perform and actually show like the growth from within a year's time, it was It was amazing.
Yeah, it's very
It was
gratifying.
amazing. And I was just like, do y'all know what we just did? Like,
Yeah, you got to play the Apollo.
and originally it was supposed to just be like, it was going to be me.
Hmm.
I was going to do it by myself. But then it was just like, let's just make it like a trio. And then it became like a group thing. Like, it was like 5 of us. But it turned out really nice.
Yeah.
But I really was grateful for the opportunity to just like touch the stage, be in
Hmm.
the space with so many different other artists. Like we had, people who did songs. We had people who did um, spoken word. We had people who just um, act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we
It was
had
a good
so many.
community to be
It
in.
was so many different creators,
Hmm.
and it was such a good space to be in. Like it was such a good opportunity for you to like network and show your talents.
Yeah, that's very important, and like those opportunities are great for you as an artist. Like I can say firsthand, there was a point where I was making music, and I wanted to be a musician, and
Mm.
I felt like I was on the outside. Like there was like musicians, and there was the culture, and there was the scene, and I was on the outside, and I just wanted to be in it so bad. And once we started playing live,
Hmm.
there was a validation of like, okay, like I'm a part of this thing now. Like I don't just make music. Like I play live. Like I'm a performing artist.
And you have a fan
You know,
base.
you meet the other musicians. I felt like, yeah, like I'm a part of this community now. Like I'm one of the musicians. You know.
You're on the roster.
Yeah, I felt like, yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm here. Like, you know.
I made it. I got my
So
foot
I could
right
see
in
why that
there.
experience like did a lot for you.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like performing, just in a sense, like does something for me. Like I enjoy performing. So like
Yeah, same.
if it's a showcase and we have like pieces put together, I'm ready to go out and do that. Like I'm ready to do that because it just does something. The satisfaction like after like, and then when everybody comes to me like, you did such a good job. Like you was out there killing it. Like that's what I love.
Yeah,
So I know that it does something for you too. Like the gratification does something for the soul.
yeah. It's always nice. It's nice to see that your stuff is appreciated.
Okay.
But so performing for you, is that the medium that you enjoy the most? Because we've gotten a chance to do different things now. Like we've shot music videos. You know, you could perform live. Like what's for you your favorite way to do it?
I actually love like as far as like performing goes, like learning choreography
Hmm.
and like just taking it to the forefront. As far as like creating choreography and the logistics of it, I have the character like I have the capability of it. Do I enjoy it so much? Not really, only because like the way I express myself doesn't necessarily fit everybody's, box. However, performing learned choreography just feels so good because I feel like I got a chance to learn something
Hmm.
other than what I know or what I would actually do to this piece. Like I actually got a chance to like put my skills to the test and like learn something and then
Yeah.
now I executed it.
So you're less on the like I want to be a choreographer and make it as much as you are on the side of like I want to be the muse and the performer and like be the
Right.
one to express the piece.
Right. I feel like I have that what's the word? I have that knack for doing it. Like
Yeah,
actually putting the work to like
that's where you
perform the
feel like you
piece.
fit in.
Yeah. Like I know that when I'm out there performing, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
Like being a choreographer is definitely something that can be an asset. However, it's like I want to learn.
yeah.
I always want to be a student.
Did you ever have interest in like joining like some type of dance collective or like a
Well,
dance group?
there's a few people that I've been like over the years like watching. So like there's this guy named Lyric London, where he's based in like Atlanta, and he does a lot of boot camps and he does a lot of mentoring. And what he does is take a lot of people from different states, local people, and actually like take time to mentor them and build their skill sets. As far as like if they want to be actual performers or they want to be visual artists.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't like to be on the stage performing. A lot of people just like the act of dancing and want to be behind the scenes, but they like to be in videos and see themselves. So he's definitely somebody that I've always like wanted to like work under. Wildebeest is always somebody that I've looked at. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos. He's definitely someone that's you know out there when it comes to this choreographer, you know, aspect. Him and Janelle Janestra. Um, but as far as like working under someone, like definitely Lyric London is someone that I've been keeping my eye on.
Lyric
Um,
London, call my boy.
and I'm trying to think of one other. There's a few artists in New York City that I've been trying to like work under. But off the top of my head, I definitely want to shout out a couple dancers that I know on Instagram. Definitely Unestimated Movement. She's definitely a beast. You got Sheesh Niche. She's choreographing for Lola Brooke right now. She's out there. She's a beast. Um, you have a few other people that's out there that's doing what they need to do. But yeah, I don't feel like. No, let me not say that. I don't feel like I wouldn't want to work with anyone else. I'm very much so open to working with whatever opportunities that come my way. However, there's a few people that I have on my list that I will
Yeah, those are
connect
definitely
with.
good goals to have,
Yeah.
for sure. So,
So,
where does that leave you now as an artist? What does the future hold?
well, as far as the future for me in this creator world, I definitely want to keep building my influence. Um, but as far as like performing and being a part of the arts, I definitely want to um, start training again. Putting myself like in spaces that I know I could be in, and stop pushing back.
Yeah,
Like holding myself back from spaces. Like I know that I'm capable of being on the forefront. Like I've seen so many people make it this year that literally just was dancing in their living room. You get what I mean? Like it doesn't take that much. You just got to have the willpower and the initiative. So I'm trying to my main goal is you already know who my queen, my number one is.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
know
be
that
with
is.
her. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying to at least get on a tour with her before she's done. Like
before she hangs it up.
Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Call
Call
me.
us.
I'm telling you, like, but
So, in your
yeah,
current
I
state,
wanna definitely train some more.
in your current state, you want to train some more. You want to get yourself out there. What does what does it have to take to make that happen?
Well, once I get myself settled, I definitely want to reach out to a couple more people outside of like our collective in a sense. But funny thing is, I just got accepted to into this group. So
Oh,
I remember I told
congratulations, man.
you. I remember I told you. Thank you. I remember I told you I went to this convention, the Culture Con,
Yeah, you told me. That was
and
cool.
they the what is it called? The Culture Collective. They sponsored it. So pretty much they DM me asking me if I wanted to come out to the convention, and I ended up sending them an application to be a part of the group just this past January. So they sent me a notification letting me know that my acceptance was in, and now they have a bunch of different creators, they have managers, they have marketing people inside of this group who can help build your brand just a little bit more. So with that, that's what I wanted to bridge it on to, just to say that I'm definitely going to start like putting myself in these spaces. So I want to reach out to other people just to um, give myself that opportunity, like that shot, like a fair chance at
Yeah,
all of these different opportunities.
yeah, man. You have You have the charisma. You have the talent. Like, you're ridiculously talented. The only difference between the ones that are doing it or not is the decision. It's the willingness to decide to go for it. And you've, like, having a front row seat, like, you've personally come a long way within a year. Like, I got to see it, you know, like, the things that we talked about are now tangible, you know, like, we talked about wanting to, like, make the Swans and make this thing, and, like, now it's here, it's real, you know. We shot a music video, we're about to shoot another one, you know. This is, like, when you talk about getting yourself out there and giving yourself opportunity, like, you're about to star in a video, you know. We sat down, got a director, like, wrote it.
Stay tuned.
You know, stay tuned. It's coming out sooner than you know. Yeah, man. So you're doing your thing. It's great to see. I'm glad that you made into this group. That's an excellent opportunity.
No, definitely. So, like, I feel like they're definitely going to be very supportive in my journey, as well as, you know, as well as the Swans.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is
going
definitely
nowhere.
a stepping stone in the right direction. And I feel like I'm definitely ready for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget, I'm going to be in another music video that we just shot a few weeks ago.
Plug
My
it.
girl Jax. Y'all better definitely be plugged in.
Yeah.
Just wait for that. I'm going to plug y'all in.
Jax, you're going to see Jack. She's coming on too.
She's coming on. Don't worry.
She'll be on an episode real soon.
Oh, and get into the glasses.
Yeah, this is your chance.
You know,
plug everything.
LORVAE. Get y'all some. Diera.
Lorvae is how they say it.
LORVAE. Y'all know the name. Copy a pair, 2, 3, or 4. But definitely so. We got some
things up our sleeve, man. It's gonna be exciting. Before we get out of here, where can everybody find you, man?
I'm on Instagram. You can follow my Instagram at I am Justin Price _ 2 underscores. I'm on I just said Instagram. Sorry, y'all. I'm on Facebook at I am Justin Price as well, and my TikTok is the same. So they're all the same on all platforms.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. My brother, thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We're going to keep rocking and rolling. You're an original, like,
you already know.
Original
OG.
Swan, man, before everybody.
OG.
We got more things on the way.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym or shooting in Journeys for that matter.
Shooting in Journeys. I was there with you. Those long-ass nights, talking shit, talking about one day we're going to do this. And now we're making it happen. It's
all
beautiful.
Them transfers.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another guest. Hopefully it's Jackie. Until then,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We're out.
We're out. That's a wrap.
It's the clap.
That's my favorite part. I don't even know if it does anything.
It does not. It does not. It does nothing.